guys, we're about to put these taillights in. I guess there's some difference in these chrome rings here. These are aftermarket taillights, and these were the original chrome trim, right?
Yes.
This here, so,
yeah.
Okay. He's gonna explain to you what he did here to modify to make this work. Because the aftermarket ones don't come this way.
Yeah, the only aftermarket ones you can buy are what's called the base model, and they're spray painted argent silver on the trim ring. And then the Nova Custom and the Nova Super Sport came with the stainless ring, and it's kind of pressed in there, kind of heat riveted, I guess is the best way to put it. But the trim rings do not fit right over top of your base model painted ones. The material's too thick. So I had to take a Dremel and basically, in sandpaper, sanding blocks, whatever, work this down to thin it down so that the stainless ring will then snap over top of it. And then we're gonna end up putting some glue down here, a 2-part epoxy glue, just kind of hold this in place. But then once the gasket's on and it's sandwiched in the plate here, it really ain't gonna go anywhere. It doesn't really need the glue, but we're just gonna do it, just make sure it's good and stuck.
Right, this here, we agree that this looks way better than just being painted silver. I mean,
yes.
This is the eye candy stuff at this point, is all the stainless you can get on the car, especially if it was made to, you know, if this car is made with this stuff, if you can put it on there, you're better off. You know?
If you have a Super Sport or you do have a custom and you need aftermarket lenses, it can be done. Don't settle for just putting the spray painted silver ones in. You can put the trim ring on.
Yeah, it's all in the details, just the extra little things that, you know, you can make happen. If you don't have them, you don't have them. But if you do, don't toss them out. Make them work on your new lights. They look much better in there than just leaving them painted.
Yep.
So
let's get it glued up, and
yeah, we're gonna get them popped in so we can check them out.
Look at this hole over here. This top back one.
All right, guys, switching gears here. Plastic pieces for your interior. This is, I know you can kind of see it back here. This is a huge panel that goes inside the quarter panel in the back, goes all the way up to the sail panel. This here needed a lot of work that Jerry did. He textured it at home. We might go into more depth on how he did that, but either way, you might not have to go that far. So if I'm gonna pick up where, if you've got good plastics, what you should do to prep them to where they'll last for a super long time, won't peel, and they'll look natural. They won't look shiny or too dull. They'll look just right. So here's a couple pieces. The factory interior in his car was green. It's getting all, we're converting it to black. Looks a lot better. So these pieces, and here's a big piece that goes over the taillights in the back section. You know, these actually are pretty nice. This one's got a lot of scratches, a lot of issues with it. Not broken, but just, you know, seen better days. So first things first, what you want to do is, I already did it, but you want to take some Dawn dish soap. Dawn cuts grease, oils, waxes, everything. And you want to take a red Scotch-Brite with your Dawn, hot water, and scrub these things down, inside out. Just scrub and scrub and scrub. Brush, but definitely use red Scotch-Brite as well as a brush to get in all these little areas here, all the way around. Just scuff them. Just the cleaner they are, the better the paint's gonna adhere, the longer they're gonna last. So first things first, you want to scrub your pieces with Dawn dish soap, inside and out. Just scrub them. I mean, you can't scrub too much, I guess is what I'm getting at. Just scrub them, clean them, and then let them dry out, and then we'll go on to the next step. I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay guys, after you got your panels nice and clean with the dish soap and dried off, your next step is a quality adhesion promoter. I've used a ton of them. This was what they had on the shelf, so I got this. I've used I mean, all kinds of different brands of adhesion promoter. I've never seen or used a kind I don't like. I like every one of them. Every one of them has worked for me. So for what that's worth, that's kind of where I stand on this stuff. I'm gonna put 2 light coats, emphasize the light. Put light coats, nothing heavy. You don't want it slicked out, you want light mist coats. I'll put 2 coats on it, and then I'll let it sit for about 20 minutes, depending on how warm it is in your shop or area where you're painting, but I'll probably let it sit for about 20 minutes, get nice and dry, and then we'll go to the next step. I'll pull you guys in for that next step. Make sure you get all your edges well too. That's where the paint really wants to let go of. It's very important that you go light and slow. You don't, almost with anything when it comes to painting, it's hard to go wrong, except for maybe clear coat, but it's hard to go wrong with, more dry time on stuff like this, and less is more, I guess what I'm trying to say. Less paint, dust it in there to where it can actually tap off. You get a buildup of paint somewhere on this stuff, it's gonna look terrible for one, but also you have all the issues of cracking or lifting or any of that, that kind of stuff. You kind of avoid that when you dust it. You let that coat dig into that adhesion promoter, and we'll let this sit for 5 to 10 minutes and put another coat on, and we'll just slowly dust it and paint at it until we get the sheen we want and the coverage we want. And then it's done. And then also on this stuff, if you're painting with a paint gun like I am, you can pull that paint gun back some and let that paint just fall on there, and it'll help you get the sheen you want, whether it's a little shinier or a little bit, flatter sheen, more satin. So you just have to go, as you're going, you'll notice, you'll find what you like, and you'll either, you can get a little closer, lay it on a little thicker to get it shinier, or you can bring the gun back and let the paint just fall on it, and it'll flatten out and look way more uniform, especially on the bigger pieces that you guys aren't seeing right now when I'm painting over here. These bigger pieces, it's easy to get like streaks, where it's shiny, dull. So open your fan up on your gun, get back off of it, and let the paint just fall on it. And that's the same with the spray can as well. Is the closer you are, and you're going to stripe it. Once you get it covered, the color you want it, back that off and let that paint have a bigger fan and just lay on, to where it'll melt, make more uniform. I'll show you. Once this is done, you'll kind of see how it looks, but this is the best way to transform your interior, period. If you've got some panels that are green, or you want to change the colors on, like in this case here, or they need to be redone because they faded, or you had a bad piece, so you got another piece from a car that your interior is black and that interior is red, whichever, you can paint everything at one time to make it look universal for you. Look at the interior, there's not this kind of black and that black and this black. It can all kind of blend in and look good. So we'll let this tack up, I'll get another coat on it, and then I'll bring you guys back in to see the final product of it. All right guys, I took a time lapse of putting these in, but for whatever reason the camera didn't work out with us, so I don't know what happened with that. But I want to bring you guys in for a minute on these sail panel trunk panels here. We just put both sides. Well, we put the other one in yesterday, we put this one in today. I wanted Jerry to kind of give you a rundown on what he did to make these look like this, because these did not look like this. From what I understand, they were really rough. And basically, a lot of people probably would have thrown these out. But on this car here, these are almost impossible to get in decent shape.
Yeah,
you're not going to get nice ones, right?
I got to look down your camera.
Yeah, you're not going to get decent ones from what I understand on these. So if you want to, just give them a rundown here of kind of the condition they were in, what you did to get them to this point here.
Okay.
So kind of let them know.
This is the third one that I've had, third hatchback, and they're all notorious for just getting sun rot, and then it turns to like powder on the surface. And when you wipe that powder off, all your texture and stuff is gone. So what I did was I sanded it all down, which took away a lot of the texture.
What grit did you start off with on that? Like
220 took it right down.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of it, like I said, just flaked off.
Right.
So sanded it down, and then used the prep for plastic. Then I took just a rattle can of bed liner and found out what depth worked for me to get a proper pattern or texture on it. And that was probably about 14, 16 inches. If you get too close, it was too smooth. If you got too far away, it got too textured, and just peaks is what I call them. So yeah, prepped it, and then just took the bed liner and sprayed it out until I found the texture I liked, and I think it turned out pretty good, especially now that Zach had painted them.
So did you, after the bed liner, did you not scuff the top at all to take the peaks down? It just laid out just flat like that?
Laid out just like
that. Do you
that.
remember what bed liner spray you used on these?
Auto parts store. I think it was the Duplicolor stuff. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this stuff dried up nice and solid. I mean, it's not like, I know some I've seen, it's kind of like gummy feeling. This is not like that. It dried up nice and solid, and it's been dry for a while. He's had these pieces, the texture down for a while. So that'd be something else too, just to make sure it's really dry before you put your top coat. And then we just trim coat, just like the rest where it all matches, that trim paint, SEM trim paint on these, just a light dusting. They were already black from the bed liner. We just wanted to make them completely uniform looking, no streaks or anything like that. They turned out awesome. So
on a side note, I did a dash on another car, and that was like 7 years ago. And it's been through many heat and cold cycles, and the dash is still fine. So I think it'll hold up just fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, there are certain cars you can get almost every piece and panel for, whether it's used or new. These here are kind of a rare bird. You don't see many of these. Actually, we've had some guys in the shop that said they have never even seen one of these cars, a hatchback like this. So finding good panels like this that are good enough for the quality this car is getting built to is probably not realistic at all. So we just decided we needed to go in and figure out a way to make them as good as the rest of the cars. So that's what we did. So now we're going to switch gears, and well, I'm putting in weather stripping, but I think you're going to work on taillights now.
Yeah,
the taillights are in, but he's working on putting the bulbs
sockets.
and sockets.
Yeah, the
and
sockets
stuff.
need a little attention.
And then we'll bring you back in when we put that panel that I trim painted in the back, so you can see it all finished up. One that we actually did on video, you can see. So we're gonna get to that stuff, and we'll bring you back in here in a little bit. And that green's popping.
You don't have a window like this.
You got the weight, Jerry? I'm gonna move my hands up once you got it.
One.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome.
take the sheet off.
No sheet.
I don't want to look. Damn, that's big right there.
Down slowly and see if get the sheet out of it. Is that loosening that up some? Yeah. How nerve-wracking is this? All right, guys, you can see we got the hatch on. It took 4 of us, but we wanted to be extra careful because these things pin on. You know, they don't bolt on, and that's a big piece and a lot of room for error on the car and the hatch itself. But here's that piece I was showing you guys earlier in the booth that I painted. We cleaned it up, used adhesion promoter, and then the SEM trim black. This is about 3 coats. And then you've got to, walk away from it. It's gonna be shiny, but you got to walk away, let it dry up, and it will dry to a perfect sheen for interior. Not too shiny, not too flat. It just looks awesome. So we're gonna get this thing thrown in the car, and then that's pretty much gonna finish up the trunk area, aside from a little bit of carpet work that we got to get done in there. So let's get it going. All right, fellas, that's gonna be it for this video on the 74 Nova. As you've seen in the video, we got a ton done this week. We've been going at it hard all week. Just time to wrap this one up. I'm sure it's getting up there in time on this video. So, yeah, we got the windshield in, got pretty much all the lighting in aside from the front lights, which is probably what I'll be going on to next, is getting that front end together. Also this week, I'm painting the remainder of the parts, the hood, the rear bumper filler, these rubber pieces here, just all the cowl vent, all the things that aren't painted, they will be painted this coming week. So we can let those dry for a week or two, gas out, get onto those. So we're getting close to the end of this project, which is really cool. I know Jerry's really pumped. He's really happy with the progress, and we're ready to see it come together. We still got, wheels to go on it, the stripes. It's gonna be awesome. Definitely looking forward to it. So if you guys like what we got going on here, continue to watch, like, comment, subscribe. Any comments, concerns, let us know, and we hope to see you on the next video. Thanks.